Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable the Judges of Speech Competition from Sttal. First of all, let's say thanks to the Almighty God. Because of His blessing today, we can follow this competition. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nadya Fitri Wulandari, and I'm from Senior High School 1 Berbek, Nganjuk Regency. And in this opportunity, I would like to deliver my speech with the title 5 Maritime Pilots to realize Indonesia as the global maritime axis in the era of digitalization. Ladies and gentlemen, our motherland, Indonesia, a maritime country that is blessed with abundant cultural and natural wealth from Sabang to Merauke. The largest archipelagic country in the world, which has more than 17,000 islands with a vast landscape and a diverse wealth. Having the second longest coastline in the world, two-thirds of Indonesia's territory is water that has million wealth from renewable to non-renewable energy resources from the surface to the ground. This great potential of marine resources and a strategic location can make Indonesia a strong and prosperous maritime nation. Based on the potential possessed by our country, the government, in this case the Indonesia Maritime, will take steps forward by making Indonesia the world's maritime axis in 2045. The steps taken by the government will be accompanied by the rebuilding of Indonesian maritime, namely by utilizing digitization as part of the utilization of technology. Our nation must realize and see that the future and the prosperity of the people depend on the natural wealth that we have today. Therefore, the government and all elements of society, especially the young generation, we must move to support digitization of marine resources and ensure that our natural wealth can be managed properly in order to create prosperity for the next generation. Ladies and gentlemen, from data released by the International Trade Center, the export value of Indonesian products in 2020 reached 5.2 billion US dollar, or grew 5.2% compared to 2019. Meanwhile, cumulatively for period January until June 2021, the fishery products increased 7.3% or worth 2.6 billion US dollar. Maritime is a development priority in the future. And not only that, the potential of capture fisheries reached 12.5 million tons per year. Cultivated land reaches 17.91 million hectares. Meanwhile, in terms of mining, oil and gas reach 222.85 billion barrels. Sea sand reaches 4,136.77 per year. And another energy resources that could be made for cosmetic, for food, and also for medicine also has economic value as well. Ladies and gentlemen, have we really used the wealth we have today? The reality is that this huge potential has so far been utilized only about 25%, far from the amount we expected. There are 5 maritime pillars to realize Indonesia as the global maritime in 2045 that must be implemented to support the nation ideals to become the world's maritime axis. Among the first is restore the maritime glory. Second, maintaining and managing marine resources with a focus on building seafood sovereignty to the development of fishing industry by placing the fishermen as the main pillar. The third, developing infrastructure and connectivity by building the sea highway, deep sea port, logistics, shipping industry, and tourism. The fourth, develop maritime diplomacy by jointly eliminating sources of conflict at sea. And the last is build defense force. Ladies and gentlemen, to realize the first pillar, namely to restore the maritime glory, first, we must pay attention to the quality of human resources in our country. Especially in this digitalization era, the challenges and the opportunity after pandemic COVID-19 are the responsibility of the government and all elements of society, especially the young generation. Because the key to the success of Indonesia's aspiration to become the world maritime axis cannot be separated from the contribution of the young generation. The young generation must understand that the natural resources cannot be managed properly if the human resources themselves are not a priority. Another obstacle may come from the coastal areas that do not get special attention from the government. Low standard of living, lack of knowledge in the maritime field that makes it difficult for them to develop in ability and financially. Whereas the coastal youth should be given insight into the potential the area they inhabit, invite them to optimize the capture fisheries and aquaculture sectors, increasing the capital facilities for small and large fishing industry. Ladies and gentlemen, with maritime education received by youth in Indonesia, the new challenges, the new opportunities for creativity and idea will bring the change. Along with digitalization, which is not only follow solely for the global competition, but it also bring confidence in the activities of fishing industry. With a good quality of human resources, supporting technology, adequate equipment, and a good management of data collection and administration system, prosperity can be created through the maritime industry. Ladies and gentlemen, together with the Navy as the front line of a defense maritime in our country, we have adopted the motto, Jalas Fefa Jaya Mahe, which means that in the sea we are victorious in order to realize Indonesia as the global maritime axis. With a good quality of human resources and a good governance are important to controlling the natural wealth to be good and comprehensively, so that nations like us have a big dream. So I invite all of the Indonesian people, especially the youth generation, to support and build determination and enthusiasm to make Indonesia the world's maritime axis in 2045. That's all for my speech. Thank you so much for your nice attention.